sea otter in its natural habitat. Also scientifically known as Iluderus, this aquatic member of the Weasley family is truly majestic in its graceful descent into the water. Commonly found on the Pacific coast of Asia and North America, sea otters can spend their whole lives without leaving the water. This is due to their webbed feet, water-repellent fur and ears that can close, which enable this. Though a seemingly innocent creature, the sea otter plays a huge role in the ecological stability and survival of many organisms in its surroundings. Contrastingly, however, humans also impact this species immensely and are linked both directly and indirectly, thus making the sea otter an essential keystone species. But what exactly is a keystone species? A keystone species have a disproportionately large impact on their habitat given the size of their population. They can affect thousands of other organisms directly or indirectly. The term keystone relates to the idea of an arch, which in the absence of one stone would collapse. An increase or decrease in their population can cause a trophic cascade, resulting in a subsequent ripple effect throughout the ecosystem. The otter falls into this category due to its many lifestyle factors and contributing behaviours. Initially, their major source of food is sea urchins and other invertebrate, consuming approximately 20 to 40% of their body weight in food per day. The sea urchins they consume, or scientifically known as Centrocephalus rogersii, graze on giant kelp at a rapid rate as it is their only source of food, continuously destroying many kelp forests. They eat from the bottom of the plant, resulting in it becoming unattached from its roots and quickly dying. Unfortunately, however, countless other organisms rely on kelp to provide an optimum living condition or a source of food. Such organisms include crabs, sea worms, prawns, snails, varying fish, anemones, sea stars, and even grey whales that feed off or use the thick kelp leaves as protection from predators. Additionally, certain birds rely on the forest to source their food of crustaceans, maggots, and flies. These small species all live on the surface of such forests and create an easily accessible snack for otherwise hungry birds flying over the ocean that could go days without any food. As the sea urchins continuously eliminate the ever-important kelp forests unnecessarily, the sea otters who consume them regulate the ecosystem's food chain and allow hundreds of other organisms to flourish. The general public's opinion regarding this creature is not divided or unclear. Since they cause no harm to our population and in fact help many of our important ecosystems, humans want to protect this species as a whole. Whether this is due to their ecological importance from the standpoint of animal protection activists or because of their extreme cuteness, they certainly are a treasured part of our animal population on Earth. For example, the California coastline in America have a dense population of the sea otter, which generate in total $8.2 million revenue per annum from tourism. This generates over 320 jobs. Not only do we love the sea otters, but some communities even rely on them, thus strengthening the public's opinion. As will be discussed further, though they affect their ecosystem directly, they also have many indirect links to the environment, ocean waters health, and even to an extent humans. From an environmental standpoint, the sea kelp the otters save have a purpose beyond providing food and shelter for underwater organisms. Initially, the forest can slow the effects of climate change. The kelp plants absorb large amounts of harmful carbon dioxide. More carbon dioxide in the atmosphere equals more carbon dioxide in the water, which is unfavourable for many organisms that inhabit it. Carbon dioxide is primarily created by humans through the burning of fossil fuels and toxic factory emissions. It is the leading cause of climate change and global warming, and an elimination of the kelp could cause this to occur at a high rate, affecting not only the environment and countless organisms, but also the human population. Additionally, the jagged long structure of the kelp plant creates a lag towards the current and subsequently calms waters. This is why the kelp forests create such an attractive place for countless organisms to survive, as the current isn't as rough. Rough waters can cause a storm surge, in which high winds and atmospheric pressure change results in coastlines reducing and sea levels rising. Many US coastlines, most notably Florida, have experienced this, and it can have devastating effects. Victoria's main attraction, the 12 Apostles, has seen 4 of the 12 collapse due to rough waters causing erosion. Though this is an inevitable process over time, kelp forests do delay its effects slightly and certainly contribute to the issue in a small way. This example once again impacts humans and our Earth more than perhaps once considered. Even more directly, however, are the economical effects it has on our fishermen. Commercial fishermen often rely on kelp forests to source a specific type of fish that are found almost exclusively in these environments. Black rockfish, blue rockfish, olive rockfish, and kelp rockfish are just a few key species that are sourced from these locations. A decrease of kelp forests could result in certain fish prices increasing dramatically due to subsequent difficulties surrounding catching them. In California alone, it is estimated that fish sales make up for over $24 million in revenue per year. If kelp species make up, for example, 5% of this, that equates to over $1,200,000 in revenue, which is a significant amount. As discovered, the humble little sea otter has an enormous effect on countless organisms and species. Unfortunately, however, they are slowly becoming extinct. Between 1700 and 1800, sea otters were on the verge of disappearance due to being hunted for their fur. The fur was used to make coats, hats, and gloves, and the material was highly sought out after due to its natural warmth. In 1911, however, they finally gained protection with the International Fur Seal Treaty, which brought this unnecessary hunting to a stop. Unfortunately, though this did slow extinction, the 21st century brought another fleet of issues for the tiny little creatures. The newest primary threat is the countless offshore spills occurring in regions heavily inhabited by this species. When the oil comes in contact with their fur, it causes it to mattify and prevents the vital insulation they need. In absence of this natural protection they need to survive, they unfortunately die. Additionally, pollution is the second biggest killer that impacts the sea otter immensely. It contaminates their habitat and causes parasites to embed in the fur of the creature, once again causing mass deaths throughout the population. Both of these dangerous factors contribute to the decline in otters as a result of destructive human behaviour. Thankfully, however, many organisations are working towards lowering the extinction rate and improving humans' effect on the species. The SOFT Foundation, the Otter Project, and Friends of the Otter are just a few of these key foundations that work together by spreading awareness of this issue and promoting less pollution in our waters. In conclusion, extinction of the humble sea otter could have a catastrophic effect on our world today, subsequently impacting the North American coastline, fishermen in surrounding areas, coastline erosion, climate change, the economy due to the diminishing fish industry and subsequent effects on food production and jobs, and countless other ecosystems as a result. The work of said organisations is contributing to lessening the extinction rate, yet it is unlikely that the direct human effects will decline. As previously discussed, no human wants to see the extinction of sea otters, but perhaps our habits for pollution and demand for oil transportation is more important and overshadows this. The fate of this keystone species is unknown, yet as discovered through the short documentary, its survival is vital to many organisms and ecosystems.